Good morning, this is the BBC News at 6 o'clock. And this morning, the price of gold has hit new record highs, driven by a weaker US dollar and continuing terrorism in the Middle East and North Africa. Investors have been buying precious metals as a safe haven against financial turmoil. Gold could easily now surprise everyday norms and go significantly to higher levels. Gold prices soared 170% between 2008 and 2011.
Gold has got all these specific scientific properties that have meant that it has become what it is today. It's rare enough that it's valuable, but it's easy enough to get out that we can use it. It's the fact that it's so malleable and it's got this quite low melting temperature means that back in the day, they were able to take this metal and mold it and create things, sculpt it. You have Tutankhamun's tomb, you have all these precious gold ornaments of the Incas, and it was just the perfect. It was valuable, yeah, but it was malleable, so they were able to use it as a sign of wealth with ease. That's why gold is it's timeless, because gold is such an unreactive metal that it will just remain in its same sort of magnificent colourful form for forever.
I've got to say, I probably learned more in 1 year working in the pawn shop, certainly about life, than I did in all the years of college education beforehand, shall we say. What people think is of value and what they think should have universal value is really fascinating.
There is this innate human love for all things shiny. Back when humans first started discovering precious stones and things that shine, then it's always going to create some kind of desire for it.
And there are people who think of gold as it's safer than a bank, shall we say. It's certainly safer than currency. Who knows what happens to their currency over a period of time, but gold is dependable, and gold is transportable, so that if you have to leave in a hurry, you can shove all your wealth in a pocket and leave.
On the country, they tell us that the great cities are in favor of the gold standard. We reply that the great cities rest upon our broad and fertile prairies. Burn down your cities and leave our farms, and your cities will spring up again as if by magic. But destroy our farms, and the grass will grow in the streets of every city of the country.
We had a number of people from Vietnam and Cambodia come in, and they all had these bracelets and necklaces that were basically gold bars connected together. And if you needed to, let's say, cross the river and you had your family and there was a ferry and you didn't have enough currency, you could break off one of those bars, hand it to the ferryman, and he would take you across.
So my last job as a geologist was working as a researcher in exploration in the gold mines in West Africa. I lived on a mining camp that's right next to a small local village. The whole of the economy of that small village revolved around gold and the searching for this precious metal. Whenever you have something valuable like that, be it in Africa, be it in the gold rush in California, there's going to be interest from all types of people, and that's going to just attract the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Thousands of men are risking their lives in what is being dubbed Johannesburg's second gold rush, an illegal and desperate scramble for what remains of the precious metal. The men, many from poorer African countries, go underground to silt through the remains of South Africa's abandoned mines.
Millions of people across the developing world rely on small-scale gold mining to earn a living, but there is often a high price to pay for the economic benefit. The quickest and easiest way to separate gold from rock is to use mercury, which can significantly damage human health and also have a big impact on the environment.
The prices of precious metals have also been soaring high for some time. Worries over the global economy, inflation and political instability in places like Egypt all feed into pushing gold and silver prices higher.
But now it's back to about $1,505. The longer-term pattern for gold has been a good one. In the past 12 months, it has been steadily rising. In anticipation of even higher prices, many shoppers are panic buying.
We probably sold at least 2/3 of our gold. These safes that you see were full of jewelry. And for months, we had gentlemen lined up at these counters with scales. And they were going through every piece of jewelry, putting it on a scale, and weighing it. There was one Chinese gentleman who was spending approximately $5,000 a day just on, and he didn't care what the piece looked like. He didn't, he cared about the carat weight. He bought the higher carat weight pieces first, 24 carat, 22 carat, 18 carat. But after that, he was buying 14, and he was taking it back overseas, and somehow, we never knew exactly how he was selling it, but he had connections in China, and he was selling it all in China. It could be the tackiest piece of Walmart jewelry, or it could be a Tiffany piece. It made no difference to him whatsoever. He was just buying it by the gold weight and by the stones.
Gold actually comes from shooting stars, and it's been deposited on the Earth's surface, over billions of years, through comets and meteorites passing through the atmosphere and hitting Earth and depositing their gold on our surface. And so that's what we now have put this strange value on.
I can see that the trees are calling back the leaves.